Hello students, I am Lalita S. Umraskar, Economics teacher, PYK College of Commerce, welcomes you in online lecture series organized by Gokhale Education Society's Central Coordination Committee for class 12th. Today I am going to discuss with you chapter number 9, that is money market and capital market in India. In this chapter, I am going to discuss with you two topics. Number one is what is the role of money market in India, and second one, what are reforms introduced in the money market. Before explaining the role of money market in India, we have to know what is money market. What is definition of money market? Money market is a market for lending and borrowing of short-term funds. It is a market for near money, that is short-term instruments such as trade bills, government securities, promissory notes, etc. Again, I am repeating what is money market. Money market is a market for lending and borrowing of short-term funds. It is a market for near money, that is short-term instruments such as trade bills, government securities, promissory notes, etc. Now let us see what is the role of money market in India. Number one is short-term requirements of borrowers. Money market fulfills short-term requirements of borrowers. Let us see how. Money market completes short-term financial needs of the borrowers at subsidized prices. Common people, entrepreneurs, traders, businessmen, big corporate houses, they all want finance or money. So they approach to banks and also deals with financial instruments. Therefore, money market fulfills their financial needs at subsidized prices. Okay, so number one, short-term requirements of borrowers fulfilled by money market. Second one is liquidity management. Money market is a dynamic market because there are two branches of money market, that is organized sector and second one is unorganized sector. Organized sector consists of Reserve Bank of India, commercial banks, cooperative banks, development financial institutions, discount and finance house of India, and unorganized sector consist of indigenous bankers, money lenders, and unregulated non-bank financial intermediaries. Therefore, society or people gets finance from all sources of money market. It resulted into economic stability and development of the country. So managing liquidity in the market, that is the role of money market in India. Third one is portfolio management. Let us see how money market manage the portfolio of different financial instruments. Money market deals with different types of financial instruments such as call or notice money market, treasury bills, commercial papers, certificate of deposit, commercial bills, etc. This helps investor to hold a portfolio of different financial assets, which helps in minimizing risk and maximizing returns. Okay, so portfolio management, that is a role of money market in India. Next one is equilibrating mechanism. Through rational allocation of resources and mobilization of savings into investment channels, money market helps to establish equilibrium between the demand for and supply of short-term funds. So, equilibrating mechanism, that is also role of money market in India. Next one is financial requirements of the government. Okay, number 5 is financial requirements of the government. Money market fulfills financial requirements of the government. Let us see how. Money market helps the government to fulfill its short-term financial requirements on the basis of treasury bills. What is treasury bill now? Treasury bills are short-term instruments issued by the Reserve Bank of India on behalf of the government to meet temporary liquidity shortfalls. Okay, so in this case, money market fulfills financial requirements of the government through treasury bills. Number 6 is implementation of monetary policy. What do you understand by monetary policy? Monetary policy is that policy which is prepared by Central Bank of the country, that is Reserve Bank of India in India. Okay, so monetary policy is a policy which is prepared by central bank, that is RBI, to regulate money supply in the economy. Now, what are the objectives of monetary policy? Control on inflation, price stability, full employment, and stable economic growth. So these are some objectives of monetary policy. A well-developed money market ensures successful implementation of the monetary policy. It guides the central bank in developing an appropriate interest policy. Okay, so implementation of monetary policy, that is also role of money market. Next one is money market economizes the use of cash. Let us see how. Money market deals with various financial instruments such as call or notice money market, treasury bills, commercial papers, certificate of deposits, and commercial bills. These instruments are close substitute of money and not actual money. Okay, so thus it economizes the use of cash. So that is also role of money market. Number 8 is growth of commerce, industry, and trade. These things are possible through money market. Let us see how. Money market provides facilities of discounting bill of exchange to local and international traders who are in urgent need of short-term funds. So what do you understand by bill of exchange here? Let us see. Bill of exchange is a written order used primarily in international trade that binds one party to pay a fixed sum of money to another party on demand or at a predetermined date. Again, I am repeating what is bill of exchange. Bill of exchange is a written order used primarily in international trade that binds one party to pay a fixed sum of money to another party on demand or at predetermined date. Money market also provides working capital for agriculture sector and small scale industry. So in this case, money market helps in the growth of commerce, industry, and trade. Okay, this is all about the role of money market in India. Now next topic is what are reforms introduced in the money market. Okay, let us see the first reform introduced in the money market. Number 1 is introduction of new instruments. First instrument is treasury bills of different maturity periods. Okay, treasury bills, which are money market instrument, are short-term debt instrument issued by the government of India and are presently issued in 3 tenures or periods, namely 91 days treasury bills, 182 days treasury bills, and 364 days treasury bill. So treasury bills of different maturity period introduced in money market, that is a reform. Second instrument is certificate of deposit. Certificate of deposit is a money market instrument which is issued in dematerialized form. What do you understand by dematerialized form? It means online dealing of certificate of deposits. Okay, so CDs are issued by scheduled commercial banks and financial institutions. Maturity period of certificate of deposit is minimum 1 year and maximum 3 years. Okay, so this is a second new instrument introduced in the money market. Next instrument, that is a third instrument introduced in the money market, that is commercial papers. Commercial paper can be issued by corporates, primary dealers, and financial institutions. It is issued in dematerialized form. What is dematerialized form? It means online dealing of commercial papers. So what is a maturity period of commercial papers? Maturity period is minimum 7 days and maximum 1 year. Now next instrument introduced in the money market, that is money market mutual fund. Okay, before explaining what is money market mutual fund, we have to know what is mutual fund first. A mutual fund is a company that brings together money from many people and invest it in stocks, bonds or other asset, that is known as a mutual fund. Yes, so money market mutual fund is one of the type of mutual fund. Okay, so money market mutual fund invest in high quality short term debt instruments such as government treasury bills. The returns on money market funds have greater than saving but less than certificates of deposit. So in 1992, setting up of money market mutual fund was announced to bring it within the reach of individuals. Okay, so these funds have been introduced by financial institutions and banks. So it is a type of mutual fund that invest in high quality short term debt instruments, cash and cash equivalent. Okay, so money market mutual fund, introduction of money market mutual fund, that is also one of the new instrument introduced in the money market. Now second reform introduced in the money market, that is repo and reverse repo rates. Repo and reverse repo rates were introduced under liquidity adjustment facility in 1992 and 1996 respectively. So repo rate that is introduced in the year 1992 and reverse repo rate was introduced in the year 1996. Okay, under liquidity adjustment facility. Now let us see what is repo rate. Okay, repo rate or repurchase rate is that rate at which commercial bank borrows money from central bank for short period by selling their securities to the central bank with an agreement to repurchase them at future date at predetermined price. So what happened in case of repo rate? Here commercial bank borrows money from central bank for a short period by selling their securities to the central bank. But there is an agreement to repurchase them, these securities, at a future date at predetermined price. This is known as a repo rate. Now let us see what is a reverse repo rate. Reverse repo rate is the rate of interest at which central bank borrows funds from other commercial bank for short duration. So what happened in case of reverse repo rate? It is that rate of interest at which central bank borrows funds from other commercial banks for short duration or short period. And what happened in case of repo rate? In case of repo rate, commercial bank borrows money from the central bank for short period by selling their securities. So that is a basic difference between repo rate and reverse repo rate. The commercial bank deposit their short-term excess funds with the central bank and earn interest on it. Reverse repo rate is used by the central bank to absorb liquidity from the economy. What is the use of reverse repo rate? Reverse repo rate is used by the central bank, that is RBI, to absorb liquidity from the economy. When it feels that there is too much money floating in the market, it increases reverse repo rate. It means that central bank will pay higher rate of interest to the commercial banks for depositing money with it. An increasing reverse repo rate causes the banks to transfer more funds to the central bank because banks earn attractive interest rate and also their money is in safe hand. This results in money withdraw out of the banking system. Thus, banks are left with lesser funds. Thus, by lowering repo rate, central bank injects liquidity in the banking system, and by increasing reverse repo rate, it absorbs the liquidity from the banking system. Very important. Again, I am repeating. Thus, by lowering repo rate, central bank injects liquidity in the banking system, and by increasing reverse repo rate, it absorbs the liquidity from the banking system. Now let us see the difference between repo rate and reverse repo rate. Okay, all of you know what is repo rate. Repo rate is the rate at which Central Bank of India grants loan to the commercial banks for short period by selling government securities. Okay, and what happened in case of reverse repo rate? Reverse repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks grant loan to the Central Bank of India, that is Reserve Bank of India. Now let us see second point. What is the purpose of repo rate? To fulfill the deficiency of the funds. And what is the purpose of reverse repo rate? To ensure liquidity in the economy. Okay, repo rate is always high, and what happens in case of reverse repo rate? Comparatively less. Yes, next point is controls. Repo rate controls inflation in the economy, and in case of reverse repo rate controls money supply in the economy. Okay, and next one is charge on. Okay, repo rate that is charge on repurchase agreement, and in case of reverse repo rate, reverse repurchase agreement. Okay, so this is a difference between repo rate and reverse repo rate. Now third reform introduced in the money market is interest rate to be largely determined by market forces. Okay, let us see how. Interest rate are nowadays subject to market condition, as the ceiling limit on them have been removed by the Reserve Bank of India after 1989. So nowadays interest rate are nowadays subject to the market condition, because Reserve Bank of India remove ceiling limit on them after the year 1989. The important interest rate in India are bank rate, medium term lending rate, bank deposit rate, call rate, certificate of deposit rate, commercial paper rate, etc. So this deregulation got a major push after the economic liberalization of 1991. Okay, government appointed Chakravarti Committee. Okay, so Chakravarti Committee was a strong proponent of free and flexible interest rate to promote saving, investment, government financial system and stability. So as per Chakravarti Committee, there should be free and flexible interest rate. Why? To promote saving, investment and stability in the economy. Currently, interest rates are determined by the working of market forces, except for a few regulations. So very important. Currently, interest rates are determined how? By the working of market forces, except for a few regulations. Next one is next reform introduced in the money market, number 4, that is debt recovery. Okay, so RBI has set up special recovery tribunals which provide legal assistance or legal help to banks for recovery of dues. Okay, so what do you understand by tribunal here? Let us see. Tribunal generally is any person or institution with authority to judge or determine claims or disputes. Again, I am repeating what is tribunal. Tribunal generally is any person or institution with authority to judge or determine claims or dispute. Okay, so RBI has set up special recovery tribunals which provide legal help to commercial bank for recovery of dues. Now next reform introduced in the money market, number 5, that is NEFT and RTGS introduced. These are the two new system introduced in the money market to transfer fund from one bank to another bank. Okay, now let us see what is the full form of NEFT. National Electronic Fund Transfer, that is NEFT. And what is RTGS? Real time gross settlement. So these are the two system were introduced as an improved payment infrastructure. Now let us see difference between NEFT and RTGS. First point is full form. Okay, what is the full form of NEFT? National Electronic Fund Transfer. And what is the full form of RTGS? Real time gross settlement. Second one is minimum transfer limit for NEFT rupee 1. And what happened to RTGS? Minimum transfer limit is rupees 2 lakh. Number 3 is can be done offline. In case of NEFT, yes, by visiting a bank branch up to rupees 50,000 using cash and above 50,000 with check. So NEFT can be done offline. Okay, what happened to RTGS? Yes, by visiting a bank, but only with check facility. Number 4 is fund transfer speed. What is fund transfer speed in case of NEFT? 2 hours. Okay. So subject to cutoff timings and batches. What happen in case of RTGS fund transfer speed? Immediately fund can be transferred from one bank to another bank. Number 5 is service timing. What are the service timings of NEFT? That is Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. up to 6:30 p.m. But except second and fourth Saturday, Sunday and bank holidays unavailable. What happen in case of RTGS? Service timings are 8 a.m. up to 6 p.m. Okay, Monday to Saturday. Okay, but except second and fourth Saturday, Sunday and bank holidays unavailable. Next point is transaction charge for sender in case of NEFT. Let us see what are transaction charges for sender in case of NEFT. Up to rupees 10,000, transaction charges are rupees 2.50 paise. For in between 10,000 to rupees 1 lakh, transaction charges are rupees 5. In between 1 lakh to 2 lakh, transaction charges are rupees 15. In case of in between 2 lakh and above, transaction charges are rupees 25. This is in case of NEFT. Let us see what happened to RTGS. What are the transaction charges for the sender in case of RTGS? Rupees 2 lakh to rupees 5 lakh, rupees 30 you have to pay. From rupees 5 lakh to rupees 10 lakh, you have to pay rupees 55. Okay, so this is a difference between NEFT and RTGS. So students, what I discussed with you today, what is money market? I explained definition of money market, what is role of money market in India, that also I discussed with you, and what are reforms introduced in the money market, that also I explained in this chapter. Finally, thank you for listening my video lecture.